we assuming the staff can say, okay, at that point we're coming to work, but now we cannot come to work early because of A, B, C, D, and all of that. And then if you look at that, labor is on one side pushing for strike action. Let's bring this down to say, if we're not making an excuse for people to come to work late, by the way, or to make their own rules. I personally don't agree to that for any reason. But as a government, if you're saying that people should do ABC, demanding for those rules to be kept, as a minister, for instance, taking off from the tail on David Mahi right now, has he provided from his ministry to help staff come to work early to do this? Some ministries used to, in those used to have staff buses and all of those that people from work and all of that. What is it that's been done? Because on one hand, these same workers we're talking about, the federal government is saying, don't go on this strike because of ABC. But Labour is saying, it doesn't matter what you say, you are going to strike.
Okay. Issues surrounding working conditions, right? And the fallback from the subsidy saga and all of that is something that is still a matter to be deliberated on, because the Labour Congress, the NLC, they're saying we want this. I know they're talking about the issue of increase of minimum wage. They're talking about more institutionalization of the use of CNG and CNG buses and all that. They're talking about certain working conditions, improvement in general working condition of workers, right? Now, it is very insensitive for the government to have gone outrightly to remove fuel subsidy without actually thinking of a way to compensate workers for the resultant inflation that will come out of that subsidy removal. Because we saw up to like a 200% increase in prices, both in transportation and those basic things that actually affect the livelihood of workers, right?
Yes.
That is what the NLC is talking about. Compensation. Pay workers well so that they will be able to pay their way to the office, fend for their families, cater to certain expenses, medical expenses, seeing that we don't even have proper medical or health insurance in our country. Now, these are existential issues. But when you now talk about compliance issues, discipline, right, that is a whole different ballgame. It is now a case of, if you are going to come to work early, do your job, and go back home. If there's anything militating against your coming to work, it is for you to now let your employer know that CO item 1, 2, 3 is preventing me or are preventing me from resuming at my workstation at a certain time or on certain days. How do we work this out? Seeing that I have these limitations. Because let's assume that you do not have transportation to go to work. If you do not have transportation to go to work, you do not have it. You do not have transportation that will take you to work by 10 a.m. and transportation that will take you to work by 7 a.m. It's the same transport that will take you to work by 7 a.m. that will take you to work by 10 and take you to work by 12. Sometimes, and most times, it's even easier to resume early, because when you resume early, you face less less pressure or stress en route your place of work. So when they are saying that they cannot really tie their issues now or the directive from the minister to the challenges emerging from this other angle of the discussion of the NLC with the federal government, they can't really do that, because for me, I think it's a long-standing case of indiscipline. The indiscipline in our civil service is off the roof. Because remember, they also raised the issue of the minister bringing in consultants to do their jobs, the jobs of engineers and what they call them, ministry staff. See, when you walk into an average civil service environment, if you are someone like me that has been in the private sector and seen how things should be done, you cannot survive there for 1 week. You cannot survive in some ministry offices for 1 week. What I have seen over time that actually changes the working condition or situations in those ministries is proper supervision. You go to certain ministries. When you, any supervisor that they say, oh, that man is very wicked, oh, that man is very, those are the persons that actually implement civil service rules. Those are the persons that will tell you, come to work when you are supposed to come to work as hard as you are supposed to work, and close when you are supposed to close. Those are the persons that they call wicked.